Let's clean it up. Now, y'all about to see a new. What the hell does that sound? Sound like June bugs. Y'all about to see a new elevated side of the tap in because I figured out I had to have some music playing in the background. Hopefully, I don't get a copyright strike. If I do, hey, this is a risk I'm willing to take. Let's go. That's the music in the back. Oop, not that. There we go. Just finished the work piece. It's a little upbeat. I would prefer something a little smoother, but hey, we just gonna rock with it, man. Cause that's me. That's the vibe. You know, my old school. You know, I got the cab driver hat. I got the reader's glasses. I need to get some real glasses. I gotta set up this damn eye doctor appointment. Hopefully, I can find something that's open on Saturdays. Not during the week. It's really tough to do things the way I would like to. Not really, but I just used up so much vacation time. You know, I'm trying to build back up before I take off entire days. This soundtrack in the back is a little faster than what I expected. So, and I'm on some laid back vibe right now. I'm gonna just turn it down. I'm gonna turn that down. If the next track that come up is a little more smooth, because for me to go in and try to rearrange the song, it'll be way too much. I'm streaming right now. I think I would have to open up Google Chrome or something like that, and I have to cycle through and try to find another song. I'm not trying to do all that, but you know, I'm fresh off of work, and you know, I'm just after work. You know, it's about decompression. You know, my body's like, that's what I'm like. My energy is like. And if in the background I got like, that's too much, man. I want to sing. No, I wanted something laid back, but that jump's way too fast. So, you know, hopefully by the next track it calms down a little bit. But it was giving me a little anxiety. I like to chill out after work. Work is intense. What up, Mew? Work is intense. It's a lot going on. You know, it's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot to pay attention to. It's high stress. So, whilst I'm off work, you know, me doing this pod, you see like the even way that I speak and just being calm. It serves as what's up, Maxwell? It serves as a sense of decompression. For all y'all hopping in, do me that favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit the hype button. You know what I mean? You just got a regular positive guy on YouTube right here. It's a lot of people that have blown up for all types of content, all types of stuff. I feel like I'm bringing something positive and great to this world, but I can only really bring it to this world if you guys help me. So big ups to everybody that's liking it. And I hope more of you like it, more of you share, more of you subscribe. You know, every single day, I'm here around this time. Getting up my hydration with this Powerade. People are driving reckless out here on 291 Massachusetts. So I can't even look at the camera right now. I gotta pay attention right now because, you know, there's some savages out here. This is war, yo. This is straight up combat. So I gotta be ready. You feel me? On these roads, in these streets. Let me see if they're playing something more smooth. Let me see. Not really. Nah. It's too. I should have put laid back smooth jazz. like I said, we've already started the program right now, so it is what it is. Thank y'all for all hopping in. We are on episode 115 of the Tap In podcast with your host, Mo Green. For those that are new, that have never seen me before, they're seeing this random middle-aged, mildly handsome, or mildly ugly. How should I say it? Mildly ugly or mildly handsome, however you see it. You know what I mean? On your airwaves right now, your YouTube waves. I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, weekdays around this time, to spit my game, spit my ism, spit my wisdom, spit my way of life. And every day I have a different topic. For those that haven't been following me since episode 1, it started off as a means of me just practicing stand-up comedy because of my full-time day job. I don't have the opportunity to necessarily practice on that stage as much as I used to. I don't have the time. I work in Springfield, Massachusetts, but I live in Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the microphones open mics that I used to go to, the more so in Connecticut. And even if there were some out here, after work, I get off work at 4. Open mics don't start usually till like 7 or 8. I'm not going to hang out here for 4 hours to go to an open mic. Nor I'm going to drive to Connecticut to drive back. In the beginning, I did that. But no, we're not doing it no more. So I figured this as a fantastic fix to work on my jokes. And for the first 20 or so episodes, that's what I was doing, but it was feeling like very, very mechanical. And a lot of times I would just go on philosophical tangents. You know what I'm saying? And originally I started on Facebook. I would go live on Facebook. I would download the episodes from Facebook and upload them to YouTube. But Facebook is very janky. Streaming, they only do 360 resolution. Sometimes it cuts in and it cuts out. And the only advantage I had with Facebook back then when I didn't understand the technology is I could play YouTube in the background. So I would have some smooth jazz, some smooth music playing or whatever while spitting my ism. But eventually I wanted the quality of the videos to look better. So I slid on over to YouTube, but I didn't know how to play the music in the background at the same time. And I only got a limited amount of material. I got a lot of material, but after a while, the material just started getting used up. And I just found myself just going on like a lot of philosophical tangents. And I don't like to tell you guys I'm working on jokes. I kind of like to just let it happen organically. So this went from a place of me practicing stand-up comedy to me just expounding on a lot of my beliefs and a lot of my philosophical ideas and just different ways that I navigate life and reality in general. That's what it became. And then by episode 80 or 90, I was talking about writing a book on my philosophical ideas. And then I realized I basically got 60 or 70 episodes. Like once I got away from just only doing stand-up, I got 60 or 70 episodes of me writing my book verbally. You know what I'm saying? So now here we are. And then, eventually I got the lapel mic so my audio sounds better. You don't hear like a lot of the atmospheric stuff. I don't have to worry about my AC, my vent blowing into the back of my phone because my phone is mounted to my vent. I remember it was one episode I was dropping jewels, man. But nobody told me, or I didn't notice, that the air was blowing the back of the mic, the back of the speaker, the microphone. So the whole time it sounds like I'm in a wind tunnel or something like that. So you can hear it, but it's pretty difficult to really appreciate. But a lot of people still stayed. And that says a lot. If people can sit through your bad audio, that means that they like what you're saying, So I solved that problem. My phone case was dirty and scratchy. I got a completely new phone case, a case that has a hole where the camera area is, so you don't got to worry about the camera lens being scratched or the camera cover being scratched. I don't got to worry about that no more. Just gradually stepping stuff up, man. And now here we are. I know how to have the YouTube, the music in the background, but I hate this station that's playing in the background, it's like some up-tempo casino jazz, and it's just not vibing with my energy as far as what I'm trying to convey to you guys. And that's all pre-production. That's up to me to have the right music queued up, so when we get the production started, I don't got to go scrambling and looking, you know what I'm saying? But this episode, I titled it, I thought about it earlier. I've been getting away from like doing pre-titles, but I had to. Negative fantasies. What's negative fantasies? See, a lot of us, man, whenever we trying to strive for something better, whenever we try to do something good, it may not even be us personally, but other people will always give their negative fantasy of what may potentially go wrong. Like some people may be salesmen, like they do resales on, you know what I mean, or whatever. And I'm like, I hope he don't get robbed. I hope he's safe. Me, I drive a propane truck. You know, it's not just propane, but I drive a hazardous material truck. It's just propane truck is easier to say. I drive a propane truck. Some people are going to say, I hope you don't get in an accident and it explodes. You know what I mean? Or somebody might get married, man. I hope your wife don't cheat on you or have a baby by somebody, you know, get pregnant by somebody else. Those are negative fantasies. Or you want to invest some money into the stock market. I hope that stock don't fold. You know, I hope they don't rip you off. These are negative fantasies. Yes, all of these possibilities, see you later, Music. All of these possibilities definitely exist, right? But just as much as we can have negative fantasies pop inside of our head, we can have positive fantasies inside of our head. And here's the thing. Negative fantasies are more intrusive, meaning they kind of just randomly just happen. They pop in your head, and you can either feed that fantasy, like relive it over and over again, or you can starve it with positivity. You getting married to the chick, right? And then, you know, the intrusive thought, whether it's an intrusive thought in your head, or whether it's somebody in your circumference. Yeah, man, I don't know, though. She might cheat on you. You know, there's a chance, you know, divorce, what did they say? Marriage is only 50% of them last, and 70% of women file for divorce, blah, blah, blah. You know, all this crazy stuff. Be like, you know what? This is going to work. This is a fantastic woman. We are going to thrive and survive. And I'm not saying that's going to be the outcome, but don't you think it's a lot more comforting to entertain a positive outcome, especially when you're doing something positive? Like some people, they try to entertain a positive outcome with some negativity. Like, yo, I'm about to rob that bank. Hopefully I'm successful. You are hoping for a positive outcome from a negative act. Not talking about that type of thing. I'm talking about hoping for a positive outcome from a positive act. That's what I'm talking about. Or you invest some money into the stock. The intrusive thought is that it could crash. The positive thought is, you know, if I'm patient, this is going to work. You know, positive outcome with positive thought. This is Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Instead of always telling us, and I learned this from Zoe Williams. Shout out to Zoe Williams, by the way. The Zoe Up Morning Show. Go follow Zoe Williams on all his platforms. But he mentioned, you know, he used to watch his stuff a lot back in the day. And still intrusive thoughts happen, we can consciously combat intrusive thoughts by willfully thinking positive things. Right? You know, you think about, you know, I don't like saying going on diets, but rearranging my eating habits because I don't like saying losing weight. I'm gonna gain fitness. But the intrusive thought, oh man, you've been fat most of your life, man. Ain't nothing gonna change. That's intrusive negative thought. You don't have to entertain that. You can be like, you know what? I was this for a certain amount of time, but I desire a different reality, and I'm slowly creating this different reality by consistently doing these things. I don't care how much these intrusive thoughts happen in my head. That does not govern me. What governs me is not the intrusive thoughts. What governs me are the choices that I choose to make to combat the intrusive thoughts. That's what governs me. I have a chapter in my book. I think it's one of the opening chapters. I don't know exactly where, and I'm going to put this in Gemini so you can tell me exactly where it is. We're going to nestle this in. I said, if there's no resistance, there's no progress. When you are trying to do something positive, you are going to get some type of resistance. Something is going to compel you to not do it, whether it's your desire for comfort, desire for homeostasis, your avoidance of discomfort, avoidance of pain, which is really discomfort. But when that happens, especially when you're trying to do something good that you know will benefit you, and it's something trying to block you, that is the indicator right there that you are on the right path, and it is your goal to ignore that intrusive thought, to bust through that situation. It's telling you right here, this is the door that you go through. Imagine like you're at a game show, right? And you know what I'm saying, you got 3 doors. One door is white and one door is white. One door is blatantly red. The red door is telling you the prize is behind it. But you think in your mind red means stop so you don't bust through it. In this instance, that pain or that resistance, especially when you're trying to do something good, and it's blatantly showing you it's a red door, that's the door that you're supposed to go to. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. It's giving you the answer. The fact that you don't want to do it, especially when it's something good for you, is the reason why you should do it. You got 3 choices. You got white door right here. You don't really know what's behind it. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or you kind of know what's behind it. It's something easy. You got this other white door right here that's kind of translucent. But it's pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? But then you got this red door that you can't really see what's behind it. But it's better than both of those things. But because it's red and you've been conditioned all your life that red means stop, you don't want to go through it. No, I'm telling you, that resistance, that's telling you exactly where you need to go. Go through it. Don't hesitate. Bust through that, man. Ignore those intrusive thoughts. Start having positive fantasies of success towards positive things that you're trying to do. Neuro-Linguistic Programming. We always tell, I'm ugly. I'm not good enough. I'm too fat. Nobody likes me. Nobody rocking with me. Nobody's feeling me. I'm unattractive. I stink. No. You gotta change on. I'm fresh out of work. I could be like, damn, I'm musty. I stink. Or, I had a hard day's work, and it's proof by the smell of my body. You know, some people you smell, they homeless. They ain't do nothing all day. You smell me, this scent is money. The smell that you smell on me is money, and I'm going to reward myself with a nice shower, shave, lotioned up once I get home because I had a hard day's work. I could feel negative about the smell on my body, or I could be like, yo, you know the work I put in to smell like this? You know how much money I made today because for smelling like this? That's how you got to switch it up. You got to switch up your perspective and perception of how you look at things. Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Energy can't be created nor destroyed. It just changes shape. The words are always going to be there. The ideas are always going to be there. It's just about changing your perception of how you look at it, how you see it. You know? So like my up and coming comic, instead of worrying about, oh, nobody want to book me, I'm not good enough. No, yo, my writing is getting impeccable, yo. Every time I hit on that stage, I leave it all out there. Yo, I'm getting busy. I conduct myself as a professional about anybody who anybody that I'm in their circumference. What up, Shreyagu Swami? Great thoughts to have. Always be grateful. Thank you. I appreciate that. You understand what I'm saying? You got to stop worrying about why nobody's doing something for you. And just focus on your craft. Focus on the things that you strive for. The cream rises to the top. Undeniable is undeniable. You could try to dim, when you have a brilliant light, you could try to dim it as much and cover it with darkness as much as you can. It's always going to burst through no matter how much people try to contain it or we can switch it to water. No matter how much you try to contain water in a bag or in a container, you keep filling up that water, filling up that chalice, that container. Like people are they're trying to contain that water, that energy. But the more you pump into it, nobody's gonna be able to deny that, and it's gonna explode, boom, but in a good way. You understand? The water ain't worried about how it's gonna get out this bottle, how it's gonna get out of that container. It just keeps adding, and it comes from an infinite source. It keeps adding and filling. No matter how many people try to suppress it, and it's like the more they try to suppress it, when it finally explodes, it's that much more beautiful. It's that much more brilliant. And that's how you have to see yourself. Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Change the way you look at things. I was talking about my boy Dev, man. Much love to Dev, you know what I'm saying? Living out in Maryland, one of my day ones, man, from Connecticut. And, for some reason, I was just listening to Nice and Smooth. That's a hip duo from the early 90s. I got Greg Nice and Smooth B. Smooth B, I didn't realize how deep and esoteric and poetic. He's definitely, the way he raps, he's from the Nation of the Gods. Definitely 5%er. Like the stuff that he was spitting, I didn't understand that stuff back there. But now that I got more knowledge of self and I understand those concepts, it's like it opened up a whole new world to me of just older music that I want to sift through, that I kind of listen through too casually. But it's like now I could go back and appreciate it that much more. But here's the beauty thing. Now, I didn't even get to the revelation I came to. A lot of people, they complain about like hip hop nowadays, the way hip hop sounds now in comparison to the golden age, especially, it's just watered down. It's simple. It's basic. It's profane. It's verbal. We had profane hip hop in the 90s. We had verbose, you know what I'm saying, and sexual and all that. We had all that, but we had a large variety that you can pick from. But now it just seems like the main thing they're pushing to the forefront is the lower chakra, you know what I'm saying, root chakra, the bass type of hip hop, right? And people complain about like how terrible the music is nowadays. But I thought about something, man. My ears have been bombarded so much by all of this terrible, quote unquote, people, what many deem terrible hip hop, that when I went back to revisit some of these old school songs, Nice and Smooth, Lords of the Underground, Black Sheep, Dead Prez, comparing and putting that old school hip hop, golden age hip hop, with the backdrop of all this watered down hip hop or rap music that we hear today, it seems that much more beautiful. It makes the hip hop from the golden era look way more beautiful than it ever was. It's crazy. So instead of me putting down this music that we hear nowadays from the young kids, you understand what I'm saying? To me, the music, the quote unquote trash music that we hear nowadays, serves as a metal detector for all the beautiful stuff that I probably overlooked or didn't really appreciate as much back then. So I appreciate today's music because it makes me appreciate yesterday's music that much more. And it's volumes and volumes and tons of stuff. Like most hip hop, most raps I listen to, I didn't listen to the whole albums. I was just listening to their hits. You understand what I'm saying? Now I got a project to just go back, and I got nothing but time. Everything's on YouTube. I can go back and listen to so much hip hop that I never listened to, never appreciated. All these people talk about, oh, it ain't nothing to listen to nowadays, music. Yes, it is. That music is just pointing you into the direction of actual great music that was always there. But you was ignoring it so much. You wasn't paying attention to it so much. You wasn't appreciating it so much that all this garbage had to happen in order for you to appreciate that stuff from back then. Neuro-Linguistic Programming, changing the way you look at things. This music ain't bad nowadays. It's necessary for me to appreciate the good. You can't see dark unless you can't see light unless you got darkness. You can't appreciate light unless you have darkness. That's exactly what it is. So I'm thankful for this music nowadays. It literally put me in the mindset to have this beautiful journey to go through. I'm gonna go through the eras. I'm gonna look at 1990 top hip hop albums. I'm gonna just go. I got nothing but time. Every single day I can listen to a different album. I got nothing but time to do this, man. I literally got nothing but time. Thank you. Thank you for all this. All this quote. I don't like calling it hip hop, but I'm thankful for all this rap music nowadays. Pointing me to the direction to go back and listen to the Nonce, World Renowned, The Far Side. You understand what I'm saying? Souls of Mischief, X Clan, De La Soul. I didn't really. I listened to Tribe Called Quest heavy. You understand what I'm saying? But I didn't really listen to as much De La Soul. Paz the Noose was a beast. Rest in peace, dog. Rest in peace, Vice Dog from Tribe. But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you'll see a lot what you deem as a lot of negativity, but you look at all those negative things and you can use it as a backdrop to appreciate the positive. That right there is looking at a negative fantasy and using that negative fantasy to highlight and boost up your positive fantasy. Neuro-Linguistic Programming, man. All of this came to me just today. It was always there. All these concepts were there, but now it's like I'm gradually just like something is happening inside my mind where I'm starting to I'm seeing a pattern, like how to put all these things together and like synthesize it and being able to like explain it in a way that you friends can understand and appreciate it, man. It's exciting, man. I'm at an exciting point in my life at 47 years old, yo. You know, and if I was to transition today, hopefully not, but if that happened, even though I didn't create the book yet, even though it's not finished, all the blueprints is in my phone. Everything is there. You know what I'm saying? Everything is in my emails. I backed everything up. So if I don't finish it in this existence, another form of me will finish everything. I talk about that in my book, man, As Below, So Above, the cathedral concept. You have people in like the 1500s, 1400s, 1200s, whatever. They had these blueprints for these great castle, like church, like cathedrals. And they knew it would take like 600 or 700 years for it to be completed. They didn't have the technology to finish it. Now, as technology got better, you know, different engineers and architects throughout the centuries picked up those blueprints and they finished it a lot faster. But if these architects from those centuries had the idea, well, I got these great plans and projects, but you know, I ain't gonna never finish it in my time. So you know what, I'm just whatever. I'm not even gonna work on it. They would have scrapped the blueprints. They would have just burned everything. No, we're not limited and relegated to this physical existence at all, y'all. We aren't. I say this time and time again. We existed as something before we came into this form. We exist in this form. We're going to exist as something once this form transitions. I asked this question in one of my podcasts. What makes us so special that when this physical existence ends, in our own personal experience, then it's just nothing. It's nothing. Yeah? You can't get something from nothing. You didn't come out of nothing. So you're not going to go to nothing. You're just going to transform into something else. And if you're going to transform into something else, you have no idea, you have no proof what it is. All you can do is speculate and have a fantasy of what that's going to be. You can choose to have a negative fantasy, like I'm not going to exist, or I'm going to burn forever because I didn't have an opinion on what God is or have the same opinion as you have. Or you can have a positive mindset, blank canvas, have a positive fantasy, and create whatever reality you want to exist after you transform from this experience. That's all I'm saying. Neuro-linguistic programming. Let's start starving our negative, dark fantasies with positive, uplifting fantasies. Yes, the negative fantasies, they can be intrusive. Intrusive all the time. It's a reflex because, you know, the body and the mind, it wants homeostasis. It wants to be balanced. But you want to control your mind. You don't want your mind to control you. That's deep. You want to control your mind. You don't want your mind to control you. The God above you inside your brain wants to control all this. That's the level that you want to desire to get to. Not the brain just being autonomous and these negative thoughts and it wanting to be comfortable or want to satiate itself. No, you want to be elevated, be in an elevated position. You want to be in control of this. So when those intrusive, autonomous thoughts come inside your head, that is when the God inside of you, the part that's above that, says, no, I choose to think this way. I choose to be different. I choose to be elevated. I choose not to be autonomous. I choose to be the God of my reality. I choose to use neuro-linguistic programming to starve and combat those negative dark fantasies. That's what I choose to do. With that being said, to all my young and up-and-coming comedians, there was no such thing as writer's block. If the comedy guys have not given you anything new to scribe on that page, it is their way of telling you to work out the things that they already gave you. Stay away from the nonsense. Stay away from the negativity. Stay away from the gossip. Stay away from the rumors. Stay away from the foolishness. Focus on the funny and lead with love, because life is not something that happens in spite of you. Life is an experience of many infinite experiences for you to behold. So get to beholding. With that being said, enjoy your magnificent Monday. Conquer those dark, negative fantasies with positive fantasies. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hype button. Look at my profile. Follow all my socials. If you want to donate some bread, $, MOGREEN 79 or at MOGREE 79, Venmo and Cash App, respectively. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.